So it's really good to see, first and foremost, the Honourable MEC for Economic Development for Gauteng, Mr. Lebogang Maile. He is our honoured guest for today. We've also got the chair for the SEZ, Mr. Ezra Ndwandwe. Welcome, good to see you again. The group CEO of the GGDA and the CEO of the ORSEZ, Sizthandiwe Ngobo, is also here with us. We'd also like to thank the senior management of the province that have made it here today. We are running a bit of a tight ship because at 9 o'clock on the dot this opens, so I will get out of the way and welcome on stage Valdene Reddy, who's the Director for Capital Markets for the JSE. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, Honourable Minister of Economic Development of Gauteng, Mr. Lebogang Maile, and all our esteemed guests. It really is such an honour to have this incredible buzz at the JSE, and also just to have celebrating our province and really to have such good turnout. So a heartfelt welcome to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. As Zanele had mentioned, it's really quite an auspicious occasion for us to do a market open, but so much more symbolic because the hearts of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange was really founded at the center of a Gauteng economy and rising from the heart of Egoli. So for us, it's quite symbolic that we get to celebrate with you and really to host the Gauteng Investment Conference here today. As I mentioned, from the early days of the gold rush to the bustling metropolis that Gauteng is, it continues to grow. And here at the JSE, we are thrilled to work closer with you, MEC Lebogang. It's lovely to have you and your team here. And we had been chatting earlier on upstairs saying it's great that we have this opportunity to collaborate and showcase initiatives together. And really to be more deliberate about what we can do as the JSE, what the Investment Council and Conference can do for the province, and really inspiring to see the special economic zones that are coming and rising out of the province for focused growth and development. So I look forward to what the future unfolds in the sector. So really, we are really focusing on diversifying our economy. And since January 2024, the Gauteng region has managed to secure just under 11 billion in foreign direct investment from 35 different companies, creating 3,800 jobs. So that's just over a year. If you look at the effect that can have over compounded years, it will be quite exciting to see how that will get translated into growth, not just for the province, but also for growth for an economic perspective at our country level. Gauteng's unemployment rate, on the other hand, continues to rise. And while key traditional growth nodes such as manufacturing, construction, and wholesale and retail face quite challenging contractions, initiatives and focus that conferences such as these host will really become quite deliberate in making the African zone quite competitive and focusing on the value potential that we can unlock, not only as a province, but what this means for our country and continent. I know I might be preaching to the choir here with people who are aligned with the same objectives, but it really is quite heartening to see us collectively come together to address some of these challenges and really to contribute to the growth and the economy of the province. So we really understand the importance of this engagement and are thrilled and humbled to have hosted it here at the JSE. And we look forward to the role that we can play in this crucial dialogue, not only as the exchange, but as an ecosystem collaboratively with the Gauteng region. So really, I won't take much longer. As Zanele said, we are on quite a tight schedule. But what we'd like to also just highlight is the JSE has come through quite a transformational journey, probably in the face of what was necessary for us as a country. And what we've done is try to innovate some of our products and offerings as we've heard the needs of development. Now, we all know at a country level, some of the national agenda objectives has been to really get our fiscus right, to get our services right, such as infrastructure, transport, electricity, to get growth, stimulation, and capital deployed in our country, and then to create better jobs and to lead to the top-line ambitions that the country has of a north of 2% short-term GDP delivery, and let's celebrate to a 3 to 5% ambitious GDP delivery in any of the value that we unlock. So what we've done at the JC is we've made concerted efforts to say, how can we be a home to raise capital? You'll see many of the team around here, but we've launched things like sustainability bonds, where people become more astute towards sustainability initiatives. And these are home to things such as green bonds. We even have a derivative for water bond. One of our issuers listed the first gender-linked bond, bonds in the agriculture space. So really anything linked to sustainable development goals. And that is a medium where even investors from local and foreign counterparts are looking to be conscientiously deployed in their capital. We've also really tried to showcase South Africa on the global arena. We hosted our SA Tomorrow conference in New York and London, where we traveled with key public sector ministers and government officials to tell the South African story and to really say, out of the GNU, we have resurrected. I mean, a year ago, we were still talking about an electricity crisis, and pleased to say, through collaboration and deployment of liberal reforms as well as capital investment, we sit here and we say we are no longer in a crisis, but we are in a really collaborative approach of how we can get out of these situations. So I'm quite excited, MEC, to see the conversations that come at a province-specific level. We see some of the things that work and don't work at our other provinces, and we're here to welcome you at the JC and assure you that we are committed to this journey and look forward to conversations we can have together for growth and unlock of our beautiful, bustling province, Gauteng. Thank you and welcome to the JC.
From the vibrant cities of Gauteng to the global stage, the Gauteng Provincial Government invites you to an unmissable event, the Gauteng Investment Conference. As part of our mission to unlock Africa's potential, the Gauteng Investment Conference is a call to action for visionaries, investors, and changemakers. The Gauteng Investment Conference is more than an event. It is the catalyst for economic transformation to be part of Gauteng's growth story. From November 26th, join the Gauteng Provincial Government as we embark on a series of roadshows to bring the Gauteng Investment Conference closer to you. These roadshows will provide direct access to key decision makers and insights into Gauteng's thriving sectors, including advanced manufacturing, logistics, food processing, green energy, and high-tech innovation, as well as how Gauteng further promotes investment through the multi-tier special economic zones. For information on how to participate in the roadshows, visit gtda.co.za. Investing in Gauteng means investing in Africa's most robust infrastructure, a highly skilled workforce, and unparalleled opportunities for growth. Through targeted project preparation, risk mitigation strategies, and government support, we ensure that your investment is not just impactful, but secure. The countdown has begun. Join us at the Gauteng Investment Conference. Be part of the future we're building together, one that prioritizes innovation, inclusivity, and sustainable growth. Visit gtda.co.za to find a roadshow near you and learn more and secure your place at Gauteng's most transformative business event.
And we all fall behind the extreme passion and commitment that the MEC brings to the work that he does. And thank you to the JSE for not only charting the path before we even arrived today, but hopefully also continuing to support the work that we are doing in Gauteng. MEC, it's over to you now to share with us your views and the passion that you have for Gauteng's investment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I should be done before 9. Okay, I'm just trying to check how we can work it out. I don't take long. I mean in speaking. Yes. So I'm trying to check how we'll work it out. If I'm not done by then, we will pause. Yes. And then we will conclude after the markets have opened, because we can't delay that. So we will pause. And I think Program Director, please give me an indication once you are ready. And let me start by thanking you, Program Director, Ms. Zanele Morrison. And then let me thank and acknowledge, JSE is one institution, very inspiring. It's led, the CEO is female, most senior managers are female, and they are all beautiful and intelligent. So it's an inspiring institution, and I think that's why it's doing well. So I would like to acknowledge and thank you, Ms. Reddy, for your kind words and for welcoming us. But we also want to acknowledge the head of SME development, Ms. Cleola Gunene. We also like to acknowledge, as I've said, it's only females. The head of group communications and stakeholder relations, Ms. Peliswama Yekiso, and other senior managers who are here. But we also want to acknowledge and welcome the chairperson of our Gauteng Growth and Development Agency, Mr. Craig Cornish, and also welcome the chairperson of our Industrial Development Zone, Mr. Ezra Ndwandwe, and welcome the chair of our Cornhill, Constitutional Hill, Ms. Pindile Mbanjwa. Welcome all the CEOs of our different entities who are here, and welcome our partners and investors, potential investors. So in this room, we have people who are already investing, who are not just hoping, but who are already investing in our province. So we would like to welcome, and we would like to also welcome all the different senior government officials who are here, leaders of business, labor, and civil society, and members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to stand before you this morning on this critical occasion of the launch of the Gauteng Investment, rather let me rephrase and say inaugural investment conference that is scheduled to take place on the 3rd and 4th of April. The 3rd of April is the actual conference, and those of you who can play golf, we are inviting you to the Invest in Gauteng Golf Day. So, unfortunately, Mr. Banda, I can't play golf. Mr. Dillis, I can't play golf. And I was saying to the Premier, I wonder who's going to tear off, because neither of us can play golf. So, we have a crisis. We must take the Premier for some lessons to be able to tear off on that day. and the Premier did speak about this yesterday in his participation at the State of the Nation address, the date. So the Premier has already announced yesterday, and we said we are announcing today, you see. So those are the joys of being the Premier. But we are happy because it reinforces our message. So this conference will catalyze our province's economic momentum and align our broader regional integration goals as we ramp up efforts to promote Gauteng as a leading global investment and tourism destination. Recently, ladies and gentlemen, I led the Gauteng provincial government delegation for the first time in history that the province went to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where we reaffirmed the place of Gauteng as a global player in the global economic and geopolitical arena. This place has been affirmed by the province's hosting of the G20 summit scheduled for November 2025. Marking the first time in history that the meeting of the Intergovernmental Forum will be taking place on the African continent. But you'll also remember that for the first time, an African president addressed Davos in Switzerland when our president addressed. So there is no question that as the nerve center of the regional economy, the Gauteng province is positioned as the anchor of investment in South Africa and the African continent broadly. So Gauteng contributes 33.2%, depending on how you look at it. Some say 34, 35, of the gross domestic product nationally. And it's also the largest within the SADC region. It also holds the largest share of Africa's GDP amongst individual provinces, with a contribution of around 5% of the continent's total GDP. It is for this reason that the province continues to attract major public and private sector funding, solidifying its status as a prime global investment destination. The Premier did speak about this as well yesterday. We accounted for about 49% of what was committed at the National Investment Conference last year. So the Gauteng Investment Conference has various linked objectives that are all geared towards the developmental agenda, not only of the province, but of the region. And as a province, we aim to attract 800 billion in investment pledges over the next 3 years. 800 billion. It's close to R1 trillion. And others will say it's too ambitious. Gauteng economy is just over 1.1 trillion. So that's almost 80% of the size of the Gauteng economy. So what it means, we are deliberate. We want to grow the Gauteng economy. That's why when the Premier speaks at the investment conference, he will outline our economic development plan, how we envisage achieving this. So we don't just speak numbers. While this might sound like an insurmountable target, we are confident in the investment potential of the province, as well as the existence and further development of the infrastructure that is necessary to convince the global and local investor community of our capacity. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a money problem in South Africa. The problem is there's a lot of obstacles. Just last night, I was with friends at my house and we're discussing about how they are having, with their partners, about 10 billion rand that must be invested into the economy, but they don't have projects. And I said to them, I need the 10 billion, but the problem is that I still need to follow government processes. So how do I strike that balance? And I then said to them, we want to reorientate the role of the Department of Economic Development in Gauteng. And it's simple. What it must do is to unlock the economy. They are not the only people I spoke to. 2 weeks ago, I spoke to another investor who wants to invest just here in Sandown. What was supposed to be Khoro development, you all know, owned by regiments and all that. So they say we've got 6 billion. We can't because the municipality is delaying us. The same investor says to us, we want to invest 2 billion. We want to build a, do you call an artistic hospital in Melrose Arch, the vacant land there. But we can't get a license from the Department of Health. So I said my responsibility and the team in the economic development, we must go door to door. If it means we must wait for the team that must award that license, because that's how you will unlock the economy. So there is no problem with money. People want to invest, but they end up leaving the province and leaving the country because we take long to make decisions. So that's why we are confident that if we can play our part, and there's many other things that we'll have to do, which I'll come to just now. So I see I'm left with 3 minutes before I sit down and then come back and then come back. But because I think for us it's important as the provincial government, so that this is not seen as just another event, government, PR, and then we leave it. I was in economic development between 2014 and 2019 as an MEC. There's a lot of work we did then just to conceptualize the Gauteng economy, understand the structure of the Gauteng economy. We did a lot of work working with institutions of higher learning like GIBS, with Johannesburg, Johannesburg University. We commissioned a study on the structure of the Gauteng and South Africa's economy. And then, remember I'm saying between the period 2014 and 19, then the outcomes were shocking. Because what they were saying is that because the study was in about 10 different sectors of the economy. So it was saying that in each there's a dominance of between 3 and 5 players who owned at least between 70 and 90% of each sector. That was years ago. I've not had an opportunity to revise that study because we've been busy with lots of meetings, spaza shops and all that. But we're going to revise it. We want to look at it, and I can assure you, if it has not worsened, it has remained the same. So what it means is that fundamentally, since 1994, we have not been able to transform the economy. We have not been able to change its structure, and consequently, we have not been able to facilitate the integration of the overwhelming majority into the mainstream. And that becomes the problem that we are facing. Hence, we've got all sorts of social problems. And unless we are prepared to engage in that conversation and we are prepared to confront it head on, we will not be able to make progress. So all the work that we did at the time, all we're doing now is to dust it off. We'll not be doing studies, research, conferences, and all that. And that's why even when you look at our so-called investment conference, it's not necessarily a conference. And that's why it's just a day, because on that day we don't want to be having lots of discussions. We want to be, of course, you have to theorize so that you can have an appreciation, understanding, and conceptualize what you want to do, because theory and practice, they go together. That's why we will have some discussions. Program Director, at this point I will pause and then I'll come and do my concluding remarks. Thank you.
I don't know if you got what MEC said, but when he briefed me for the conference for later on, he said, Zanele, make sure that you are focusing on the pledges. So if you want to come, prepare those pledges that you need to make for the development of Gauteng. So for now, I'd like to quickly invite Martin to come and join us. Martin Koch is the head of trading operations at the JSE. He's going to give us a view of how it runs in the shop, and then we're going to do the market open. We're then also going to blow the kudu horn immediately, because then it's quite exciting, and then hand over the trophy, and then set the stage for MEC to come back. Martin.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Zanele. So this is our trading engine, and you saw the video, the camera going straight into our data center. So it's actually on site here. We'd love to take you down there, but for security reasons, we can't show it. So we're trying to get you as close to the action as possible. It is literally down there, so don't celebrate too much when you jump later on the opening of the conference. We're going to be looking at the screen. So this is a live screen that just to bring it home to you a little bit, what traders might see, what the people out there see, and the activity. As you can see, 2 minutes to go, the market will open, and as the video showed us, this data is going all over the world. The ticker at the top that's moving already is our derivative market. That opens up at 8:30. You can see some of the trades going through there. The ALSI, the All Share Index derivative contract that's trading. And right at the top, as soon as 9 o'clock hits, we'll see the equity market open. We are currently in an opening auction. What that means, from 8:30 till 9 o'clock, the market is in a price forming situation, and we are viewing it on the JSE share there on the far side of the screen. You can see each of those values there is a order that is in the market. So we're just using the JSE share. You can see this is buyers and sellers. So the buyers are on the far side and the sellers are closer to this side. And you can see we are dealing in cents. So don't get too excited about the price of 124,000. That's in cents. So 124 Rand 37 at a volume of 495. That means someone wants to buy that share at that price right now. And that can move because we're live and we're waiting for it in the next 60 seconds. And that goes down all the way. You can see there's lots of people wanting to buy the JSE share, and the opposite is true on the sell side. When the market opens, we'll see this screen update. We'll have trades that are going to be coming through and updating. And also the graph in the middle, you can see the performance of specifically the JSE share over a 1 year period. This at the bottom is the All Share Index, also for a 1 year period that the market has seen. So we've seen some nice up-down growth, but we're trending hopefully in the right direction. I'd like to call those that are going to make the noise up, because the market does wait for no one. You've got 30 seconds to come on stage to make the noise, beat the drum, sound the kuruho. You have a bit of support, so if the vuvuzela doesn't sound as well as you'd hoped, they are here for you. If you can join me in a live countdown at 10 seconds, we'll get going from there. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the market is open, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the order book updating live. This is not your usual 15 minutes delay that you might see on Google or your PCs. So live data as it's happening, and we're just waiting for that trade. The ticker is open, market is flowing. Thank you so much for opening the market for us this morning. Back to you, MC.
Just to quickly let you know that the second part of the program will be taking place at the atrium. So as soon as the MEC is done, I will then let you know that to make your way through. But MEC, how about you close off your conversation?
Thank you very much. Don't take long now that the markets are open. Those of you who are having shares, I'm sure you are anxious and looking forward to how the markets perform. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was just making a point about some of the challenges that we are facing and the fact that we want to raise 800 billion, but the first objective of the conference now is to raise about 300 billion in this first. So this is a foundational step, as I've said, towards our 800 billion target. And it is a call for both domestic and international investors to support the transformative initiatives in Gauteng grounded in sustainable development. The second objective of the investment conference is to showcase high growth sectors in Gauteng due to its strong quaternary sector and investment in reindustrialization. The province offers numerous high potential investment sectors, and this conference will highlight transformative opportunities from advanced manufacturing to the digital economy, reinforcing Gauteng's position as a prime destination for impactful investment aligned with regional growth priorities. The third objective of the investment conference is to enhance project preparation and execution. This will ensure that projects are well prepared with a focus on risk mitigation, feasibility, and investor readiness. So we will be presenting those projects which are ready, and we will unveil them there. And as I've explained, there are things and steps that we are taking to ensure that these things happen. And one of the projects is the expansion of Gautrain to reach West Rand and the Vaal, and the introduction of a new train from here to Polokwane. So this approach aims to secure impactful investments that contributes to Gauteng's sustainable development. But we also have what we call GFIP2. What you know as e-tolls. So e-tolls was the first phase. There's a second and third phase. And the maybe bad or good news, depending on where you're standing, the user pay principle will kick in. Because if we don't expand our freeways, we're going to be gridlocked, we're going to have problems. So we are continuing. So those of you who are in construction and you have money, you'll understand that there's a lot of, we want to build more hospitals, want to build more schools. So we'll unveil those there. So linked to this is the fourth objective, which is to foster local and international collaboration. The conference will serve as a collaborative forum for public and private entities, fostering partnerships that drive regional growth. We aim to create networks that promote strategic investments and align with shared objectives for a prosperous Gauteng. And the fifth objective of the investment conference is to enhance Gauteng's business environment, as I've alluded earlier on, by addressing barriers to doing business in Gauteng. We aim to make our region more accessible and attractive for investment. And I think those of you who are in business will know better, and that's why most businesses have moved from the CBD, because it's not a good place to do business. It's not clean, it's not safe, and we are attending to those. And that's why in the next 2 weeks, I would be convening a session with business called Business Against Crime, because we would unveil our plan of fighting crime to business, and we'll be asking business to put money. We will also be telling you how much we are putting. So one of the responsibilities I have, program director, because you said economic development, is being MEC of finance. So the purse is with me. So business, we will be asking you to come to the party, because I'm carrying the purse. You might not see it because you can't carry it around. The only problem is that I was telling the team there in Treasury is that I'm MEC for finance, but I don't even have a password. I don't know how that the money is being drawn, but I just have to speak about it. And when there are problems, that's when I'm being called, and the media comes to me, not to the people who make transactions. So it's very difficult. So we are focused on creating a streamlined, investor-friendly environment conducive to both new investments and business expansion. We will showcase policy and regulatory improvements that position Gauteng as a preferred destination for business expansion and new ventures. Those who are in construction, you will know it used to take 365 days to get an EIA approval in Gauteng. It now takes 3 months, and we want to reduce that to 1 month. So it's just but one of many regulatory achievements we'll be showcasing. The sixth objective is to advance sustainable and inclusive investments. Gauteng is committed to investments that promote sustainability and inclusivity. And as the seventh administration in the province, we have defined sustainable and inclusive development as our key priority. This is rooted in an appreciation of the geohistories that have shaped both our province and South Africa as a whole. We aspire to position our province as a leader in climate-smart, socially inclusive growth, inviting investors who value environmentally responsible development that benefits communities without posing threat to the environment. We'll also be making our position known about the post-mining situation in Gauteng. Not in this conference, but you will see in due course. The sustainability of our economic development is dependent on the creation of jobs, which is a crucial component to improved human development. Thus, the seventh objective of the investment conference is to support economic transformation and job creation. Our focus is on projects that not only transform Gauteng's economy, but also uplift communities, foster skills development, and enable sustainable jobs. These initiatives will emphasize inclusive industrialization, benefiting small businesses, especially township-based and historically disadvantaged groups. We seek to ensure that those who have been on the margins of productive economic activities, such as women, youth, and persons with disabilities, are included in the economy. There are various developments and initiatives underway that will be of particular interest for investors, some of which are being launched this month. One of these is the OR Tambo International Airport Precinct. Precinct 1 was completed in 2024, featuring 12 buildings focused on agro-processing and jewelry and diamond beneficiation. The Jewelry Manufacturing Park was established to boost beneficiation. It houses the second largest food processing factory in the country and contributed significantly to job creation. The precinct created over 2,500 operational and more than 2,000 construction jobs. Mineral beneficiation is an important component of our inclusive and sustainable economic development agenda. This is because it supports South Africa's mineral beneficiation strategy to convert raw minerals into high-value products, which drives inclusive and sustainable economic growth, creating more jobs and higher value add. In addition to this, our reindustrialization priority is anchored on investment in manufacturing. We aim to revive the jewelry and diamond industry, which declined from over 5,000 to under 100 cutters and polishers since the early 2000s. And significantly, beneficiation prevents exporting jobs and economic opportunities, ensuring value is retained within South Africa. So the launch of the Precinct 2 at the OR Tambo Center this month marks a significant milestone in Gauteng's broader investment strategy, reinforcing the province's commitment to fostering economic growth, industrial expansion, and job creation. As a key component of the OR Tambo Special Economic Zone, Precinct 2 will unlock new opportunities for investors and businesses, further strengthening Gauteng's position as a hub for high-value manufacturing and beneficiation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch the Gauteng Investment Conference, it is important to not only expand Gauteng's global investment reach, but to also ensure that the envisaged growth and development is to the benefit of the broader region and continent. We look forward to welcoming local, regional, and global businesses who are keen to develop a lasting and mutually beneficial partnership anchored on values of inclusivity and sustainable development. With this, I wish to officially launch and announce the Gauteng Inaugural Investment Conference and to welcome all to a province that is alive with possibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you on the 3rd of April. Thank you very much.
And thank you to the MEC. Just to tantalize your appetite for the afternoon program, or for the next program, we've got Dr. Ezra Dwandwe, the chairperson of the board of the ORTA SEZ. We also are joined by Dr. Stavros Nikolaos, the chairman of the South African Pharmaceutical Producers Association. Ms. Tanya Vogt as well joins us as the chief executive officer for SAMED, and Mr. Saki Zamxaka will be also gracing us, and he is the group chief executive officer for GGDA. So please do join the team in the atrium at the back. As our guests make it to the back, can all media please stay in the front for any interviews that are scheduled or planned? So media is to stay with us, and our guests can move through to the atrium at the back. Thank you so much.